Hi, I'm Charmaine. Welcome to the Love of Self podcast, where we delve into the emotional aspects of finding love for self. Today's topic is the void. I recently saw an image of a black hole, and for some reason I was drawn to it. I was somewhat mesmerized by it. I wanted to understand what I could understand about black holes and what they supposedly do, or the concepts of what black holes do. And for some reason, I decided to associate this with the voids of emotions and even the voids of our thinking and how we go about voiding emotions and what that means on an emotional level, I'll say, or on a conscious level or unconscious level. So with this image of a black hole, it brought me to thinking about the things that we need emotionally that are missing and what ends up happening to those inner emotions and thoughts. Where does the void take us? Where does the absence of knowledge of self and the absence of dealing with the emotional hardships or constraints that keep us from feeling what we need to feel? I believe a lot of the time the voids within us are the emotions that we won't or can't deal with. And in order for us not to deal with it, we escape in some manner. We put our focus on things that make us feel not so heavy. The distractions in life that keep us away from the emotional grit we need to sustain balance. And today, there are so many easy and accessible ways to distract us from ourselves. There is so much to keep us from understanding ourselves. And it's like an object that's needed to fill this space. The emotion is presented as an object, and instead of the object filling the space, it gets sucked through the hole. And what is the hole? It can be whatever addictions that we've become accustomed to not deal with ourselves. And I think that's where the void comes in, where it becomes a constant need to not deal with who we are, what we are, why we are, and when we became the way that we are. The things that we don't want to deal with helps this void grow. The avenues that help us to move away from the emptiness that we have not been able to fulfill with our own love, with our own understanding, with our own peace, with our own joy, and the understanding of all of those things. Whatever distracts us from gaining those things helps the voids grow. They help us to not see what has been bypassed within us. Our voids may possibly be the avoidance of our own consciousness, the need to dismiss the truth within what we need to see and feel within us that don't help us understand ourselves, that don't help us gain peace within ourselves, that actually exasperate the opposite of these things, the inner turmoil and destruction of ourselves, of our emotions, of our thoughts, of our energy. It's hard to see the pain that we avoid. It's a hard thing to bring in to help make yourself whole. But there's a realization that comes with the dealing of what our emotions need from us. All the things that we expected from everyone else, but ultimately in our adulthood becomes our responsibility. There becomes a point in life where we have to be responsible for our own healing, for our own wholeness, for our own understanding. And yes, it takes understanding and communication through other people as well. It's not always an isolated event. Other people help us understand ourselves, and that's a beautiful thing. But there's some point within our inner thoughts and emotions where whatever we see and hear, for example, one void that I feel that helps expand this void is the scrolling that we do. And it depends on what your mind gravitates toward. I'm sure, I know for me, I'm definitely guilty of doom scrolling and scrolling to escape my reality, not wanting to deal with myself, and therefore trying to find some sense of false accomplishment through the things that I'm looking at online. And the more I'm distracted by these things, the more I am not dealing with myself, the more I am keeping myself away from what's necessary. And today, there are so many distractions. It's so easy to find a distraction away from what you don't want to feel, what you don't want to remember, what you don't want to live through again. The problem is we don't want that void to consume us. We don't want to become so distracted of how we feel and using the easy way out to not feel something, to not deal with something, to not find a way to truth. The black hole within us is the easy escapes that everything gets sucked through. I don't have to feel if I don't deal with what's wrong. I can distract myself with scrolling, with substances, with adult activities that help me not to see what I need to see within myself. I can't see the relief that it can eventually bring by dealing with it. Because getting there, getting to that place is so painful. It's hard to come to grips with the emotional stamina that's needed in the beginning. But maybe it's time for a new discovery, a new way to fill in what's missing within me. I feel my void when I feel in order to mend. The more I feel, the more I become whole. I'd like to thank you for taking these few moments to listen to what I have to say. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. So, I'd like to ask you, is there a void within you that needs to be filled? Are there emotions and thinking that need to be dealt with, expressed? What do you think would happen if you began to try and mend the emptiness inside? Do you think you could handle it? Do you think you could handle what that brings up inside of you? Why or why not? I'd love to hear from you. Please comment or email theloveofselfpodcast@gmail.com. Please remember, I am not a therapist. Also, my new book is out, Love Yourself, a book of poetry and spiritual writings for self-love. It's available now on bookbaby.com. Purchase link is in my Instagram bio. I wish you all peace, love, and joy always. Until next time.